the solving quadratic equation worksheet is pretty similar to the one we did yesterday, except now instead of just factoring, we're going to move on and find the roots. So on number 1, we have k plus 1 times k minus 5 equals 0. And imagine if we said a times b equals 0. What do we know about a and b in order for that to be true? They could both be 0. Is that the only possibility? If a is 0 and b is not, it's still true. If b is 0 and a is not, then it's still true. So either a is 0 or b is 0 or both. So what that means is k plus 1 is equal to 0 or k minus 5 is equal to 0 or both. So we subtract 1, k equals negative 1, we add 5, k equals 5, and 1 or both of those is true. Right? Look at number 4. 2m plus 3 times 4m plus 3. So either 2m plus 3 is equal to 0 or 4m plus 3 is equal to 0. So we subtract 3 and divide by 2. M equals negative 3 halves. Subtract 3 and divide by 4. M equals negative 3 fourths. So if I were to graph this quadratic, so negative 1.5 and negative 3 fourths, that parabola would look something like that. Okay. All right. Let's do 5. X squared minus 11x plus 19 equals negative 5. Well, I want to find the roots. And the roots occur when x equals 0. So I need to solve this equation and put a 0 on the right side. So we will add 5. And now I have x squared minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. And I can factor that. Can you think of two numbers that add to be or multiply to be 1 and add to be negative 11? Negative 8 and negative 3. So the roots here are 8 and 3. Okay. Look at number 10. 7 r squared minus 14r. And I need to add that constant to the other side. What should we do here? Take out the 7. So 7 times r minus 2, or r squared minus 2r plus 1. Two numbers that multiply to be 1 and add to be negative 2. R minus 1 and R minus 1. Do I need the 7? Well, what are we asking? What is it asking for? It wants the roots. Does 7 influence the roots? No. Is 7 a factor? Yes. So if you are answering the question of how would you factor this quadratic, the 7 is part of the solution. But the 7 does not affect the roots. In fact, if I were to delete this and graph that, oh, sorry, the roots are 1 and 1. So this graph here, oh, let's do it a different way. So this graph here is really steep and hits at 1. This graph here also hits at 1, but it is much shorter. So dividing the whole equation by 7 does affect the graph, but it's not going to change the roots. Okay. All right, let's do 16. 6b squared minus 13b, and I'm going to add that negative 3 to the other side, so plus 6. In this case, I cannot pull out a 6. Well, I could, but it would create fractions and make my life much more difficult. So here I need to use the box. I put in 6b squared and 6, multiply those together, and I get 36b squared. Factors of 36 that add to be 13. 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, that's the one I want. Negative 4x and negative 9x. What does the top row share? A 2, or a 2b. If we pull out a 2b, we get 3b minus 2. And if I pull a 3b out of the left side, then I get a minus 3. And it's always a good idea to check, is negative 3 times negative 2 equal to 6? Yeah, so I probably did it right. My factors are 3b minus 2 equals 0, and 2b minus 3 equals 0. Add 2 and divide by 3. One of my roots is 2/3. Add 3 and divide by 2, and one of my roots is 3/2. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything you need. I will throw this worksheet up on Canvas, and then you can access the answers. Good luck.